I see you just joined us just a second ago. We're just getting things streamed on our side, ready to roll here.
All right. What's up, Don? How are you?
Good. I know we haven't talked for, like probably about 6 weeks or so. So I'm even going to turn my camera on. All right. If that's all right with you.
Yeah, of course.
Fantastic.
I'm not allowed to. It says you can't start your video.
Really? Maybe that's a good thing.
Yeah. It's fine.
Weird. It's all right. Okay. It's hide non-video. That's really weird. All right. I guess we, yeah, cool. Excellent. So it's good to hear from you. I know you've got quite a number of people kind of joining us in here today. So welcome. By the way, I think the last time, Adam, the last time we talked, I think I was back in Arizona. So welcome. This is actually my office in Virgin Islands. So broadcasting from St. Croix. It works too. So yeah, you know what? I'm trying to get the camera turned on your side. It's not allowing me. Anyway, it's all right.
Yeah, we got a lot of good feedback from the event we did with you. So totally psyched to be doing it again. And I like when I could introduce fresh things to my audience, and I think they appreciate it. Today's a good day in the market. I like when I'm long and it just slowly goes up all day. That's fun for me.
I'm short.
I'm sorry.
It's all right, man. No, I have I'm not talking about I don't have a short bias today. Like I have a longer term short bias. So sure. I carry trading positions, but then I carry what I term core positions. And my core positions, when I say core positions, I mean like investments, right? So, I'll still hold stock, but right now and in this current, juncture in the marketplace, I still have the undying urge to want to be short the market. And I hope that doesn't bother anybody, but it just makes a lot of sense. I mean, look what interest rates have actually done this year. It's chaos in this marketplace. So yeah, let's.
I'm not. I would never talk politics in front of a trading community. Nobody wants that. But I will talk economics of politics in the sense that if there's a red wave in the election today, is that already priced into the market, or would that you think we could get a boost on that?
So number one, I don't think we're going to have any results today. I mean, it'll be minimal results today.
Right.
We might know maybe about the House. I don't think we're going to hear about the Senate because I'm already hearing. Obviously, I go back and forth between here and Arizona. So a lot of friends back in Arizona. They said it's an absolute crap fest right now in Arizona for voting. That's what I've heard thus far, and it's early in the day. So I don't think we're going to hear anything. So I keep hearing the statistics out of the last 19 midterm elections, yada, yada, yada. The marketplace has actually been up. And I get it. But there was, one of those midterm elections, I think it was 1974, where the marketplace was down massively. And ironically, the conditions are not dissimilar to right now. So I think it's a really tough trade. I think that if you look, and here we'll even start with this kind of a cool way to start off a session, but Adam, I think if you look at the SPX, okay, the SPX, I look at a couple of different things, and I'll pull up thinkorswim, but I'm also obviously using Tasty, but it's one aspect that really resonates with me right here.
Make sure, Don, can everyone, I just want to make sure, I don't know what we do. Everyone sees the screen okay? Give me a yes, and here's the voice. I like to see the question box light up, but is it the chat box more? The questions, just type in yes. Making sure you could see and hear okay. I just like to make sure we're good. Okay, there we go. Thank you. I like that. That makes me feel good. I always like to check in at the beginning, make sure we're good. And I also see a lot of people saying hello. They did. All right, now we're good. Thanks.
So right here is obviously today's the 8th, right? 29 vol. Then you look at tomorrow. Tomorrow says 29 vol on the SPX. These are daily expirations. But then when you look at Thursday jumps to 37, and it's CPI. CPI means 5 times more right now than does the election. That's why I'm saying I'm not all hopped up about it by any stretch of the imagination. It's again, I think it's a little bit passé, and as I was saying, we may not know anything for weeks, months, years. It's an election. These things take time. Forget that it's 2022, and we have technology. Not in voting, we don't. There is no technology, sir. Anyway, yeah, that's one of the things I look at, Adam. All right, I think you were there. You go for it.
Yeah. No, I think it's just good to be aware of that. By the way, this looks like looks a little bit like a cannabis brand. The Ultima.
Ultima.
No, I invested in it was a mistake. I invested in a cannabis company called Uliva, which actually has the same colors, and it starts off UL, so that's why I'm automatically thinking of that.
I like this color scheme, man. It's bright. It's spectacular. I really like the color scheme on there.
No, that's the world of trading. Green is good. Green is good.
Yeah.
Listen, last time you blew us away. We have a great audience. Perfect time. Nice day in the market. Let's go through Ultima trades and see what we got. You guys all ready? You guys want to learn a great new strategy from an awesome trader? By the way, for anyone that hasn't met Don before, it's funny. I first met Don, I think it was in Puerto Rico at a financial publishers event, and he was heavily involved at the time in thinkorswim. And since then, went on to TheoTrades. Every time I see him at like a trading expo or whatever it is, literally total class act, one of the good guys in the industry, but also like me, loves trading more than anything. And that's what as you guys know, and you've seen actions speak louder than words, I have very few guests on these days. I have Don coming, which is great. I have Tom Sosnoff once a month.
Tom's my former work wife.
Yeah. I had trying to think, maybe one or two more. Maybe you guys can name them, but that's it. And that's it. That's all we do. So when we have guests, it's special, and it's because it's well deserved. So yeah, Don, I'm psyched to be here, and I'm psyched for everyone to learn the strategy. So please take us through this Ultimate Trades presentation, and let's give it a go.
Fantastic. All right, so let's get this thing started. So welcome everybody today. So I'll talk about my background here a little bit more deeply in just a moment, because as I was saying, yeah, Sosnoff was the former work wife. Goes back a way. So I met them all the way back in like the late 90s. Anyway, welcome to everybody. Today is Ultima. We're going to talk about high probability income generation, of course, with Ultima Trades. I'll explain what Ultima happens to be here. Risk disclosure. I'm not a financial advisor or a broker dealer anymore. I was for the better part of about 15 years. I'll explain. I also like to just give you a little bit of heads up on what you're here for. So we're going to talk about Ultima trades. We're going to discuss why they're actually ideal for the current environment. We're going to look at a trading symbol that we use on a day-to-day basis called SKU. We'll look at that, VVIX. All right. We're going to learn what edge is and where you can actually find edge as a retail trader. It's pretty critical. Like, people don't really get, the term edge. Like, what does that mean? I mean, for the most part, just say this: you do a trade once and make money, never claim victory. You got to be able to do the same trade, or the same logic, if you will, not just multiple times. We're talking like hundreds and or thousands of occurrences. And one of the things that we're going to explain to you that's so critical to understand about Ultima has been working for years now. And that's not just me talking. You're going to see trade results. By the way, I let everybody know before we even really get up and running here. Okay. We trade here. And when I say we trade, we show you everything. At TheoTrade, we have a really like no holds barred approach. And when I say so, you get to see every position. I don't care whether I'm up, whether I'm down, whether it's left, whether it's right. Like, I show P&L. A lot of people are not really comfortable showing things. By the way, I trade between Tastyworks and thinkorswim. The only reason I still reside at thinkorswim is we have so many clients that still use thinkorswim. So I kind of go back and forth, but a lot of my trade executions now have actually moved over to Tastyworks, considerable number of them. And I can explain a little bit more about that throughout the course of this. But when I say that we show everything, like, I have no qualms whatsoever about going in here to profit and loss, okay, and showing you, okay, it's up $181,920 year to date. That's it. Like, there's no if, and, or but about that. Okay, as I said, I'm really comfortable showing everything. And if this was, Has there been a down year? Yeah, 2017 was actually a rough year for me. It's the last down year that I've had. Haven't had a lot of down years in my career, which I'll discuss. But as I say, I like to give you guys kind of a no holds barred approach where you get to see everything. If I execute trades, even throughout today, you get to see them. I think that's pretty critical. Anyway, so we'll talk a lot about edge. We're going to learn some of the benefits of high probability trades. But the most important thing about high probability trades is how not to get killed when things go awry, and they do. Okay, and we're also going to talk about which products are really effective for this and which products are, disaster recipe, if you will. Other thing is, if you stay with me right into the end of the webcast over here. By the way, somebody was like, real profits or paper trades. Yeah, that is not paper trades, sir. Okay, that is real. Let's say a real account. It's the account number over there. By the way, it says PM because it means portfolio margin. I've got a number of different accounts here, including an IRA. Obviously, a number of different accounts over here at Tastyworks. Okay, moving just over. This is just personal capital over $1 million. Through a couple of different accounts. And yeah, no, it's everything. You get to see everything. There's no reason that, regulatory wise, that I can't show you everything that I am doing and should. So with that, if you stay with me right to the end of the webcast, we're going to actually provide you a copy of our expected move indicator. You'll see this used a multitude of times throughout the course of the presentation here, but it's pretty critical. By the way, this is Apple. One thing you'll also learn about me, like I really don't like a lot of screenshots. So you'll actually see me like pull up things here like SPX, and I'll cruise over to Apple, for example. I was just showing you Apple a moment ago. Okay, auto expected moves. It's just a script that we built in here, and it shows you, if a marketplace is efficient or inefficient. It's critically cool for options traders. I think you guys will really appreciate that one. So stay with me right to the end of the webcast with the copy of that. A couple of housekeeping items. Listen, pay attention. I'm going to go at a pretty good clip. I go through a tremendous amount over here. Definitely phones on silent mode, close Facebook because everybody else has, pretty evident by their stock price. Kick out the kids, the grandkids. Listen, you took the time to be here. Focus on being here. So here's a little bit about me. Again, some of you have no idea what a TheoTrade is or who Don Kaufman is. Right up front, I tell you, if you ever need to get a hold of me after today, okay, we're really open to responding to emails, and we encourage people to email us. We use a general inbox. Go to support@theotrade.com, put my name in the subject, it goes directly to me. So I think that that's important. Okay, a little bit about me again. I started trading in the late 90s. I don't mind telling anybody, I'm in my mid 40s now. I started trading at 22 years old, but I grew up around it. And people, how do you get involved in it? I grew up around it. I had an uncle that was a market maker. Started a firm in Chicago. I got involved in the late 90s. I met the guys from thinkorswim on the floor in Chicago. I joined thinkorswim officially in 2001. I was on the executive team when we took the company public in 2007. I was there actually, in 2009 when the company was purchased by TD Ameritrade. And at my, my entire time at, of course, both thinkorswim and TD Ameritrade, I ran the education divisions of the companies. And it was a pretty interesting ride, especially when we had like 7 million clients at TD Ameritrade. But a lot of what I'm going to talk about here, okay, is a pretty unique skill set. And my unique skill set is I got to see everything that you did for the better part of 15 years. And that's why I always tell people like, what's that special skill set? I watched order flow for 15 years. Forget about a claim to fame. Like, I got to see everything that you did for 15 years. The buck stops here. Like I know what worked and what didn't. We studied everything that you guys did, not only for our own trading, which if you think about this, if you had access to client order flow, okay, for 15 years, tell me that you wouldn't look at it. You would explore it in every way, shape, or form. We had an entire division of TD Ameritrade dedicated expressly, okay, to studying order flow of retail clients. We knew everything. You name it, a trade. I did a covered call. Well, this is going to make money and this won't. I did an iron condor. Well, that's losing trade over, umpteen. We knew everything. Okay. I can tell you which products work, which products don't, futures contracts, you name it. What you're going to learn here today comes from watching literally billions and others' mistakes. I still do some TV appearances. I'm still on TD Ameritrade TV once a week. I do some CNBC appearances. Obviously, it's myself pitted against Kevin O'Leary, one of the more memorable times, obviously, that I've done CNBC. Let's get down to business. Volatility, it's arrived. I've been saying this for a fairly long time, but the volatility, one of the key factors in here, okay? The volatility is not going to abate anytime soon. And that's largely predicated on the fact that, interest rates are running amok, right? So inflation's still running red hot, although we're going to have the CPI data this Thursday. Fed is pushing rates higher and still contracting a balance sheet. Incredibly strong dollar, maybe not necessarily today, but strong dollar exports inflation. Geopolitical risks continue to proliferate. Okay, we haven't only begun to hear the beginning of that. The reason I'm bringing this up is, people they get distraught when volatility has arrived. They get distraught looking at the Nasdaq, which is down about 32% year-to-date basis. They look, at the S&Ps, which are down over 20% year-to-date basis. One of the things that really, I think, shocks me. Okay, talk about year-to-date basis. Go look at the TLT. Just bear with me for a second. Look at the TLT, which is the bonds. Okay, do you realize your bonds are down about 34% year-to-date basis? How come nobody focuses on that? Because I'm going to tell you right now, that's why volatility is not going anywhere. Okay, it's game on right now. You got to embrace the chaos, because if you don't, you're just going to constantly get run over. I mean, this is where people are like, I'm going to bottom fish. What are you going to do? You're going to buy some Meta right now? You're going to buy some Facebook? Oh, I don't think that's going to be a good idea. Stock picking or Reddit boards, it's not going to cut it anymore. You just can't do that. You got to embrace the chaos, embrace the volatility. Okay, you just cannot rely right now so much on directional bias. As I said, as we started this off with Adam, I do take some directional positions from time to time, but in my trading, okay, just selling premium and managing risk. Okay, reduce risk while substantiating monthly returns. Reduce risk, okay, while substantiating monthly returns, because hey, markets in 2022 got real this year. So let's get down to business. What are Ultima trades? So higher volatility, okay, which we're presently in, it's resulted in significantly more options premium. Okay, for those of you that speak options geek, by the way, some people don't necessarily even trade options. They've never traded an option. Okay, I get it, and that's that's fine if you haven't traded options before. Okay, you don't necessarily have to have traded options prior to being here. But is anybody here brand new? Okay, when I say brand new, like you've never traded an option before in your life, because again, I want to make sure that we all kind of get on the same page, and I want to gear this presentation at the right level. So. Fantastic. Okay. New to options, couple of people. And listen, for those of you that are new to options, just spend some time thinking about the big, broad strokes of logic, right? Don't worry about like the finite details. For those of you that are more experienced, you can worry about some of the more finite details, because I've kind of geared this presentation on both sides of the coin over here. So when we talk about volatility, right, obviously some people would bring up a chart like a VIX. So I'll bring up VIX, take a look at VIX, and you look at VIX, you're like, well, that's not that high. That's not that high. Look back, for instance, over the last 10 years. Okay, because I like to make a point like this. Look where my mouse is right now. It's where the volatility presently happens to be. Okay. If you look at like the onset, that's the onset of COVID. Volatility has consistently been and considerably higher since the onset of COVID. And that's when Ultima really started to, perpetuate itself, and it has not abated in any way, shape, or form. So we're still trading at about a 24, 25 VIX, which is rocking. Ultima trades are going to be designed to sell options premium while reducing risk. So a lot of people have actually heard kind of through the grapevine, selling options is a great way to be able to make money, right? A lot of people have heard that. But if you've experimented with selling options, you find out really quick, okay, this is what everybody does when they sell options. They sell options and they learn. Okay, and they sell options and they learn a little bit, and they sell options and they learn a little bit, and then they start to grow and they start to actually feel, a little bit more secure with the idea of selling options. So when I say they start to grow, they start to do some more contracts. Options are traded in contracts. At first you're capped in one lot and you strapped on your little one lot cape. You're like, yeehaw, right? And you traded a one lot inside of the S&Ps, and before you know it, you were capped in 20 lot inside of the SPX. What happens to people in options? They make money, bam, just hit by a Mack truck that they never saw coming. We're going to talk about that risk, because that risk is what you have to be able to mitigate. So today's session, I want to just separate real risk, fact from fiction. We're going to get down into, hey, what actually works in terms of selling premium, but more importantly, sustainability, number of occurrences. Look, I'm not going to, oh, this makes money. I'm going to show you 18 months of results. I'm going to show you current portfolios. Like, Well, this is all for nothing, okay? Unless, I'm a big believer. Again, I spent 15 years in the brokerage world. And 15 years in the brokerage world, there's one rule, okay? Brokers, even though I traded myself and traded extensively, and I come from a market making background, brokers can't show their portfolios to retail clients, okay? TheoTrade is designed to say, screw all that. Sorry for being so literal, okay? But, screw all that. Like, I'll show you everything. Why wouldn't I? Okay, because if you don't show somebody your account, that's not good. So it's important that you guys see what works and what doesn't, right? And for those of you that don't know anything about options, don't panic. You can do this, okay? The other thing I throw into this slide, and I think this is critical, don't tell me that you have to have a lot of money to do this. Okay, $2,000 plus, you can do this. $5,000, you can even do it in a retirement account. So 5K, right? You can actually trade options now in the retirement account. You can do whatever you want in a retirement account. By the way, that's one of the reasons, okay? And I know that Adam Mesh is a big proponent of Tastyworks. I freaking love Tasty because Tasty is the first brokerage firm that lets you do whatever you want inside of an IRA. This is my IRA. I'm trading like options on futures, which tie up almost no margin in an IRA. It's sick. It's like it's just changed the entire environment. Okay. And I can't stress enough, like I do most of my executions here on Tastyworks. Okay. I'm not a big chart guy, but when I do bring up charts, I'm like, I'm more comfortable over here. By the way, my group, specifically my group when I worked at thinkorswim, and again, I spent 15 years working on thinkorswim. My group is responsible for several things. We built charts, we built scan, okay, and we built analytics. That's my group. And those are the things that, baffle the most people, but I'm not a big market technician. I'm a quant. Nevertheless, okay, I understand a little bit about the charts, okay, and my right hand kind of person here at TheoTrade, he left thinkorswim and TD Ameritrade as well. His name is Jeff Bierman. He works here at Theo. So again, if you're brand new today, big concepts, big logic. Logic is important. Even those of you that are experienced, understand the logic. Listen, so we're going to jump in. We're going to talk about selling premium. Okay, selling premium can be called credit spreads, short call spreads, bear put spreads, bull put spreads. I hate all that stuff. Listen, you're just selling out of the money crap. People make this business far harder than it needs to be, right? So in the end, when you talk about options, what do you have? You got calls and you got puts. Okay, that is it. What can you do in this business? You could buy something or you can sell something. Why do you have to make this business any harder than that? You got calls and you got puts and you can buy them. By the way, buy them as palms towards me, sell them as palms towards you. Pretty easy, okay? You can do option spreads in your IRA and you can sell naked in your IRA. By the way, people always ask if you can ask questions. I'm responding some of the questions live, uncut. I read the chat. It amuses me. So by the way, yes, this is live and yes, chat in throughout the course of it. So, okay. By the way, somebody's saying Tastyworks not available for people in Europe. Okay. It will be. Who do you think owns Tasty now? Tasty was actually purchased for $1 billion by IG. Where is IG? Okay. UK, but they've actually got all their European licensing. So that's going to be good. Okay. So Tasty will be the biggest, like in terms of US markets in Europe in no time. All right, let's get down to business. Oh, here are some of our members year to date. I took this kind of a little poll fairly recently. Okay, Brian doing awesome since Professor P got my head straight. Profits over 100K so far. Eric up 27% year to date. I just asked the general question in our TheoTrade chat room. Okay, during a trading day, I just said, how are you guys doing on a year to date basis? Started my IRA in June, following Theo Small up 28%. Like, I think that's important. Okay, I'm amazed by something every day at TheoTrade. It's a place you want to be. All right, probability and profitability. So now we're actually going to break away from any introduction. We're going to start talking about trading. Trading is based on probability, okay? But one thing I always talk about with probability, I get hundreds of emails always asking me about, like, how often are you right? And I hate that question. How often are you right? Listen, okay, trading's all about probabilities. You go, are you right more than 50% of the time? Listen, you can be right 90% of the time, but that doesn't necessarily make you profitable. Because if you're right 90% of the time, I'm like, I'm so right. I'm so right. Like, these websites, literally, they advertise we write 85% of the time. I'm like, come on, monkeys. Be right 95% of the times. You're going to advertise that. Okay, go big or go home, right? But it doesn't matter. See, again, people constantly, they judge whether you're right or wrong because everything that you're bombarded with on the retail side of the business, okay? Everybody's like, CNBC and all this garbage is like, what do you think Apple is going to do? Oh, I don't know. What do you think Apple is going to do? What is the election going to do? What is CPI going to do? And it's fun. It's fun to talk about. But the truth be told, doesn't necessarily make a difference when it comes to selling premium. Probability alone does not make you profitable, okay? Markets are always a constant trade-off. You could be right 90% of the time, still lose money. So where can you find edge? Because that is what we are here for. That is exactly what I want to cover. Where can you find some edge? So the first example I'm going to give you, okay? And I love to stick, if you will, with marquee examples. I say marquee examples. I like to stick with just very generalized stuff. Like this is a stock and the stock is trading at 100. And by the way, for every example I've ever done, I always call it stock. I call it stock. Okay, stock. By the way, everything now, I used to talk about a stock a year ago trading at $100. You're like, that's too small. Yeah, exactly. Everything right now is trading like $100 or less. Give Apple some time. Give it some time. Anyway, the point that I'm trying to make is here's a stock. Do I own the stock? No. Why do I not own stock? Because stock right now risky. You see the market in the last couple of moments? Market today went up, now come down. Adam, I hope you're listening to this right now because I'm actually, I'm a little short right now. I'm a little short, but as soon as you said, by the way, kind of like this day, it's been up all day. I literally saw the selling coming in as you said that. Anyway.
Total tank. It's awesome.
It kills
me. So happy.
So in this case, I do not own the stock and I'm just going to trade an option. And for the first example, like I always start with the buy side. Like understanding selling options is kind of weird. So I found out here and I said, I buy a 120 call. Okay. And you have to pay like $1 for it. And that thing is good for like a month or 2 months or 3 months, whatever. But a 120 call, like if you look at a 120 call, that's in like the nosebleed section. You're like, why on earth would you want to buy a 120 call? Well, first of all, for those of you that have no experience in options, a 120 call gives you the right to buy the stock at 120. Do you have to buy the stock at 120? No. So why do you buy a 120 call? Because if you're buying a 120 call, like you don't own stock, no stock, just say no to stock. You go, why are you so anti-stock? Because for a trade, this is a trade. This is not an investment. It's a trade. In a trade, what happens if the stock gaps down to 90 the next morning? You go, that can't happen, really? Because CPI comes out on Thursday morning. And that was gap-tastic the last time. I mean, we just puked everywhere. It was disgusting. Okay, the Fed comes out and says, I like 1 basis point at a time every day. No, anyway, the point that I'm trying to make over there is a 120 calls out in the nosebleed section. Now, 120 call gives you the right, but not the obligation to buy the stock at 120. So if you're buying a 120 call and you don't own stock, you need that stock to soar above 120. Okay. In fact, you need it at 120 just to feel special. You need it at 121 to be able to break even. You need that stock at like, 125 to actually have a little punch to it, right? And make a couple of bucks. You realize that stock's got to go from 100 all the way up to what? Okay, let's get crazy. Like 125 to make what? A couple of bucks on it? Like that seems ridiculous, doesn't it? It does. So that's why instead of going out and buying the 120 call, I'm going to go out for our first example and I'm going to sell. Okay, butchering that. I'm going to go out and sell a 120 call. And for that 120 call, I'm going to collect exactly a $1 credit. All right, so I'm going to put it down here. I'm going to sell a 120 call, and I'm going to collect $1 credit, right? And let's say that this is good for, let's get crazy and say it's good for 3 months. 3 months, 3 months, 3 months. Now, people always look at this and they say, I do not like that you're selling an option 3 months out. And I'd say, good. I like that you don't like it. That's the idea. Okay. Let's spark a little, adversity to begin with here. So I'm selling a 120 call. Now, for those of you that are brand new, okay. Number one, do I own stock? No, I do not own stock. You go, how can you sell a call you never owned? Okay. Sorry, I got a mosquito All right. I'm living in the jungle right now, people. Living in the jungle. Anyway, I'm selling a 120 call. Okay. And you go, how do you sell something you never own? I'm selling myself into an obligation. I'm selling a 120 call. For this example, I'm going to sell it and sell it naked. And people immediately go, but what about margin? Assume margin doesn't exist. Just assume margin doesn't exist. Again, we got to get conceptual things to you. Okay. This example right now is about one thing. It's about logic. I got to get you to understand the logic over here. What is the logic? By selling this call, you're selling something so far out of the money. It's 20% out of the money. Like, again, that stock is going to have to rally huge by huge just for you to be able to take a hit, right? But what happens to the stock over here? Well, first of all, you collect a dollar credit. When do you get to collect the dollar? Okay. When do you get to collect this dollar? All right. What, 3 months from now? That's crazy. Why would I ever hold a position for 3 months? Okay. So if you have the stock at 100 and you're out there and you're selling a 120 call, okay, that's the primary logic over there. First of all, how much money? How much money can you actually make off of this? Well, when you sell something for $1, okay, the most you can possibly make is what? All right. If you sell something for $1, what's the most you can possibly make? Okay, $1. That's it. Okay. The most you can possibly make if you sell something for $1 would be none other than $1. So great. So you're telling me that I'm going out and tying up my capital to be able to make $1? Not necessarily so. Right? And again, the logic over here is a very simple one. Once you put this trade on, you sell something for $1. You're now obligated to do what? Okay, to give somebody stock at 120. Do you own stock? You don't. So what happens? Okay, what happens? I'll take you through a couple of scenarios. If the stock stays totally flat over the next 3 months, you get to keep $1. If the stock goes down over the next 3 months, you get to keep $1. Even if the stock goes up for the next 3 months, you get to keep $1. When do you start losing money? 120 plus the dollar. So your break even is somewhere over here at 121. You go, what if we go to 125? You're in trouble. But look, you're in the nosebleed section and this thing can rally and rally and rally. Now we're not necessarily going to go out there, okay, and sell it naked. And you know, I was watching somebody in chat and they're like, this is too simple for me, yada, yada. Clearly though, we haven't gotten to why we're doing this. Why just go out and sell a call naked? Because it's very, you know, this one is one of the most simple examples. Okay. Are you doing it right now? Even those of you that are experienced, because again, people come here and they go, it's kind of a simple example. Okay. Are you doing this? Okay. Really? Are you actually going out and selling options, okay, that are further out in time? Because the reason I'm asking that question, this is what Ultima is. Okay. All right. It's critically important that the simplicity is that selling options, a lot of people know, okay, kind of works. Like they know it works. The problem though, okay, and the reason I'm like, you know, talking about being simple and complex, the problem is I don't know which options to sell. And what you're going to find out here in a moment, that options 3 months out, Ultima really means, for the most part, okay, where to actually find a dramatic amount of decay. Like somebody just came in here and said, hey, I sell options with 30 days or 45 days, okay, or I sell options with this amount of days. That's not going to work nearly as well in this marketplace. So we're intentionally, okay, going to torture you by selling options further out in time. But it's all about this 120 call, and this 120 call is way out. It's in the nosebleed section, okay, of calls. All I want you to understand at this point is I'm selling something that's really far away from the underlying price. Can you lose money? You could. Okay, I'm not going to leave it at that, but I do not want you guys to worry about margin, not just yet. All right, we're going to go back and we're going to say, so you may have noticed in my example that we're selling options really far out. Typically, traders sell short dated stuff, but that's why you're actually tuning into the webcast. Okay, what we do here at TheoTrade, we don't come out and just say 3 months, go ahead and sell some options. You know, yeah, go ahead, sell some options. We're about criteria. We're about what expiration cycle, how far out of the money do you go? How do you actually control risk? What about margin? It's all the nuances behind this. The crazy thing is people have seen this decay graph, right? And most of you guys have seen this where an option's supposed to decay like this. You realize that that is actually not accurate because this is what we term a near money, okay, decay graph. That's near money decay graph. what you'll actually find out is there was a massive shift in how options decay. And it actually doesn't have to do with decay. Decay is known, okay, for those of you that speak option geek, decay is known as theta, okay? Theta is actually not what Ultima is. Ultima, okay, is the volatility of the volatility. So there's actually a volatility decay associated with options further out in time. So let's go back to this example, but instead of doing an example here, okay, let's show it in a live market condition. And I'll use the spiders, okay? I love to use the spiders because the spiders are absolutely like, it's just marquee. It is. It is what it is. Like it's a marquee product, I'm real comfortable talking about it. Almost, I think everybody understands it. And I'm going to go out and I'm going to provide a real example. And as I was saying to somebody, he's like, I'm going to take it from that simplicity. Okay, the simplicity of, for instance, selling an option that, for instance, is 3 months out in time. I'm going to twist it around, and you're going to see that the logic, okay, kind of works in there. And it's the most important thing, to me, is that you guys actually see what's working at this point. And again, I'm using call options because I think call options are easier. So for those of you that have never traded an option before, okay, initially I'll take you on to thinkorswim, and by the way, we could use, I could use Tasty just as easily for this. Doesn't make a difference. Option chain's an option chain. But here we are. I'm going to go all the way out to the February expiration, and I'm intentionally using February, okay, because, well, it's really, really far out in time. So I'm going to scroll all the way out of the money, okay? Let's go all the way to, this one's perfect. You know what? It's perfect because it's trading right at $1. Like my example that I gave you guys obviously was $1. So I'm going to keep it pretty consistent. So I'm going to go out, okay, and I'm going to sell. I'm going to write it right up here. I'm going to sell, all right, a Feb 17. By the way, that's a Feb 17. And I'm going to sell the 455 calls. Okay, let's say I know they're trading like 97.99. Let's say I sell them, okay, for literally right at $1. Okay, I'm fudging it by 2 cents. Can you let me get away with that? Okay, I'm just trying to make this example a little easier for you guys. All right, they were trading for like $1.20, I think, earlier as we rallied. But I'm going to sell the Feb 17s. Okay, 455 calls for $1. Timeout. I want to know what this trade, okay, is going to be worth. Assuming the market stayed flat, what's that trade going to be worth 101 days from now if the market stayed flat? Huh? Anybody? What's that trade going to be worth if the market stayed flat for 101 days? It would be worth zero. But you're like, God, come on. I mean, imagine tying up capital for 101 days. 101 days to make a buck? Sucks, doesn't it? So what some of you have figured out, some of you guys are out there and you're like, I'm going to sell me some short dated stuff. Come on, I'm picking on somebody here that was in there for 45 days. Okay. Where's Mr. 45 day? So he was in there selling stuff for 45 days, which is fine. And you can sell stuff for 45 days and you can sell stuff for $1 with 45 days. Okay. But then he's selling the 425s. And in 45 days, that's within striking distance, sir. Okay. 425, raggy. Like, what, you think we can't hit 425? We're already at 382. Okay. We were in the 390s the other day. Woo. Anyway, the point that I'm trying to make is all the way by February, we're like, come on, man, you're way out there. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to show you what Ultima really does. Okay. Ultima is designed to sell long duration options, but not to hold them for 101 days. Okay. Just say no to 90 days or 101 days. What I want you to do is I want you to look at 101 day, okay? And then I want you to look at 73 days. Why? What's the 101 day option going to be trading for exactly a month from now? The answer is whatever the 73 day option is trading for. Now, this is an example that just melts people's minds the first time they see them. Market makers and traders were always faster than pricing, okay, than retail traders, because retail traders go, what's a 101 day option worth a month from now? And they go, let me go to my theoretical option pricing calculator. I'm like, oh boy, here we go. We got an engineer. Anyway, you don't need a theoretical pricing calculator. I want to know what the 455 calls are worth, okay, a month from now. And exactly 28 days from now. By the way, this works beautifully because it's 28 days, not even full 30 days. 28 days from now, assuming the market stayed flat. And let's assume the market stayed flat. I know it won't, but 28 days from now, I'm going to go out and I'm going to buy this option back. Okay. I'm going to buy the very option that I sold. Okay. I'm going to turn around and I'm going to buy it back. I'm going to buy back. All right. I'm going to buy that Feb 455 call. And at that point, I'm going to pay what? See, I fudged it by 2 cents. Now I'm going to fudge it by 2 cents again. I'm going to pay 40 cents to get it back. What am I going to make? 60 cents, or roughly 60%. You can make 60% in 28 days. How come you're not doing that? Because I just showed you that, okay, there was an individual in here that said, I sell options with 45 days. So for 45 days, you got to sweat to make what? Well, whatever it is you're going to make. If you want to make $1, you got to wait the full 45 days. I just made 60% in what? 28 days. What did I do? Absolutely nothing. And I was much further out of the money. You go, how is that even possible? And how am I missing it? Because volatility is actually decaying really rapidly right now. Okay. And that's what so many people miss about this. Okay. This is, I mean, and again, people look at it and they go, that's ridiculous. Right. But what happens if the market rallies? What happens if it rallies? So what? Maybe you have to hold a little bit longer. Okay. I'm not going to sugarcoat this. Not every trades are going to go direction. It's just not every single trade goes your direction, but I am going to show you how you can do what's called mitigate the risk, which is actually control risk. By the way, don't just look at spiders. Like, don't think that, I'm pulling off like, it's a miracle example. Okay. It's not a miracle example. You can do this in any one of like, these ETF products make it easier. ETF being like QQQ, ETF being like SPY or IWM. Look, let's go to the Nasdaq. Let's go to the Nasdaq. Why? I don't know. I mean, the Nasdaq it's fun. It's exciting. Okay. It's here's an option trading for, let's call this one, what, $1.17? It's the 335s. Just look at it really quick. So could I go out and could I sell the 335s and I'd be selling them for, let's call that $1.17. So I'd sell those for $1.17. And then I'm just going to fast forward. And when I say fast forward, 335, fast forward. Okay, so there's only what? I just fast forwarded 28 days, but I'm still going to look at the same 355s. It's a miracle. They're only trading for what? Okay, I could buy them back then for what? Let's just make it right at the offer. So 53 cents. I mean, you're still making always between about 50 and 60%. You make between 50 and 60%, okay, for ultimately, in this case, 28 days. And what people just miss is, they don't get that the vol has changed. They don't get the vol has changed. And then they start selling options that are really, really short dated. Okay. Think about this. If you sold an option with only 10 days to go, you go, if I sell it with 10 days, I only got to sweat for 10 days. That 10 days, you're selling at 293. I mean, 293, just look at the chart. Okay. Could we hit 293? Okay. 293 is right here. And if it gets any close, you're going to puke. You're going to puke. It's just not, it's not going to be good. Not going to be good for you. Not going to be good for me. Right. And again, it's a lot to consume if this is the first time you're seeing it. Okay. If this is the first time you're seeing it, all I am actually doing here, okay, all I am doing is selling a 100-day option with one intent. Okay. Somebody asked me to slow down. So I agree. Okay. And again, and somebody was asking about how to sell options in an IRA. We're going to get there in a second. So first, all I'm doing is selling an option that has maybe 3 months. And I'm trying not to make the full amount, okay? I don't mind saying part of our criteria is I'm trying to make 50% plus. Now, do I have to wait the full 90 days? No. Average hold time is actually, okay, less than 30 days. Less than 30 days is the average hold time, and you're trying to make, okay, 50%. You see, the whole goal here is people think if you want to make money in options every like 30 days, you have to use a 30-day or less option, which is ironic. What does it matter? Why would you use a 30-day option? Okay, the way you make money, how about is this? Is the least risky way, okay? And to make money, all I'm doing is I'm riding, okay, on a 101-day option and only riding it for about 30 days. If you want to get from point A to point B, okay, what do you care how you get there? When you guys, you're like an order, like an Uber or a Lyft, as long as it shows up, okay, and it's not a complete piece of crap, it gets you from point A to point B. Although I've had some pretty scary drivers over the years, but never the point, not the point. The point is, okay, I'm just riding options that are further out in time. And the reason I'm riding options further out in time, because they get the job done, but they get it done even more efficiently. Okay, they get it done more efficiently. So, all right, before I go any further in here, of course, I've got so many questions already like piling up in here. So again, one of the things you got to think about is why I sell options so far out in time, because that's what we do here, right? It's not about just this theta. And then you're going to come into a position here, right? You're going to come into positions where you're like, the trades are not going to work and so forth. And that's fair. Not every trade does, in fact, work. Okay, I think it's important to understand that not every trade works. So we're going to talk about when trades do not work. But before I even get there, okay, I think it's fair to say this is actually a great time. People say, first of all, how can I do this in my IRA? Okay, I want to say this to you. Okay, you can sell naked in an IRA. People say you can't, but you absolutely can. All right. I'm just pausing there for a second. You can sell naked in an IRA. Did you know that the rules were changed over 2 years ago? Did your broker change? No, of course not. Right. It's one of the reasons, like, TD Ameritrade and thinkorswim, okay, which is now owned by Charles Schwab, they're losing huge business to Tastyworks. Tastyworks updated their rules. You can sell naked in an IRA. Okay. Then what about margin? What about margin? Okay, you can sell naked in an IRA, only tie up nominal. This is in an IRA. This is in an IRA. If you have $2,000, you can do this in an IRA. You never have to worry about margin. You can absolutely do this. Okay, I apologize. You have to have $5,000 in an IRA, $2,000 in a margin account. Okay, it's the rule is 5K in an IRA, 2K in a margin account. You can absolutely do this. Okay. And it's so critical. You do not have to have any more $100,000. Okay. That's all gone. It's all gone. Right. They changed everything. And that's where, most of the brokerage firms, first of all, they don't even update their rules. They don't care. Okay. They don't want to let you do whatever you want with your capital. But I'm also going to further teach you to control risk, because what happens to people is this. They go out and they sell options. You learn something like this. We're going to go through a couple more examples. They learn something like this. Okay. 90% sounds great, but 10% of the time, you get hit by that bus. And those that have sold options, they've gone through this, right? Okay. I know that some of you have learned trades like iron condors. Okay. And I love to point this out with the iron condor. For those of you that have no idea what an iron condor is, an iron condor goes out, like if this is $100 stock, the iron condor, okay, you sell a call and you buy a call, okay? And then you sell a put and you buy a put. And all you want is the market to stay inside the range. What they don't tell you, okay? What they don't tell you is what happens when things go awry and people get killed in this strategy. So the first time you go out in this, you make money. You took a class, you paid $500 to learn how to do an iron condor. And the first time you did it, you made money. The second time you did it, made money. The third time you did it, you thought you were a genius, made more money, you started doing more contract size. The fourth time you did this, you actually did it in a product called the SPX, and things went totally awry, and you ended up taking a massive loss. And in fact, on the fourth time you did this, you risked so much capital that you had a train wreck, and your losses exceeded the gains in the previous 3 trades, possibly wiping out half of your account. Does that sound reasonable? Okay. And again, this is where I say I could see your account. For 15 years, I watched people do this. I made money. Oh, you're like, did anybody get the license plate of the train that hit me? It's brutal. So people pay $500 to take a class to learn an iron condor. Then they go out. And by the way, I just got to tell you this right now, because the buck stops here. Doesn't matter what you think you've done. I've seen it all. Okay. What have I not seen over 15 years? Well, I was there when the internet bubble, immersed into itself. I was still trading, okay, and I was originally trading in Yahoo in the late 90s. But by the time the internet bubble was really deflating, I was already working at thinkorswim by 2001. That bubble lasted till 2002, but I was dead centered. I actually had to go to Chicago and manage risk throughout the financial crisis. Okay, that was fun. I saw everything. Like everything. There's nothing that's changed in the business. Okay, other than people puke differently now. I don't know. Okay, like listen. I can see everybody's account. Like, you know, it works and doesn't. By the way, after you get killed in an iron condor, you're like, I was on to something. I was on to something. So then you learn, I can fix it. You take another class for another $500. I can fix it. I can fix it. All right. I'm a total cynic when it comes to fixing. I have watched people, okay, they just take a shovel out and just start digging. And I'm like, oh man, okay. It's like literally watching somebody, right, dig themselves like their own trading grave. So I don't like the idea. I don't like that word fix in the trading world. Some fixes work, but the very notion, like people don't get that the very notion of the word fix means more good money and more good capital after an already losing trade. So you got to learn how to do this right, right? It's not about, you know, the perfect, you know, trade. Okay. You'll have to learn how to structure things. Okay. So that it's going to work for you. I mean, listen, broken trades are just that. It's the same analogy as take a car, drive it off a cliff and bring it to a body shop. You know, what are they going to do? Nothing. Okay. So we're going to go back to the original example. And again, I don't mind showing you a couple of live examples, but we're going to go back to our initial example. And I started today with this, you know, $120 stock and yada, yada, but let's make this one a little bit more pertinent to the present situation in the markets. So I think there's a lot of risk coming probably in the next day or two. Okay. So where's the spiders? Spiders are trading for, let's call it 380. All right. I just want to show you this. So SPY, okay, is trading at 380. Like, listen, what am I really trying to do? What am I really trying to teach you? Okay. I'm trying to teach you inventory management, So the spiders, let's say, is the product. Okay. And by the way, when I say spiders, it could be any S&P product. Like, it doesn't matter if you like spiders. You're like, I want to trade the SPX. I want to trade the ES options on futures. It's all the same thing. Like, I get it. Like, you'll have a love affair with a particular product. I don't have a love affair with any of the products. Okay. But I like talking SPY because it's easier, it's softer, it's gentler. And the SPY is trading right at, again, that 380 level. Okay. So I want to teach you inventory management. What inventory management is about, it's about putting on a multitude of positions. Okay. Not necessarily all at the same time. Put a little inventory here, a little inventory there. Okay. The critical point of this is, okay, you're trying to get multitude of positions working at the same time. Okay. It's kind of like if you had an inventory of fruit, apples, okay, not the stock apple, but actual apples. Okay. And every time you bought and sold an apple, you made, okay, let's say 50 cents off the apple. What's the goal then with apples? Like, think about this for a second. So you have this piece of fruit, and every time you actually trade the piece of fruit, an actual piece of fruit, okay, apple is probably, okay, if I said bananas, you probably start cracking up. But anyway, you have these apples, and every time you buy and sell this piece of fruit, you're making 50 cents. You don't give a crap whether it's a piece of fruit, whether it's a pen, okay, whether it's, you know, a can of hyper juice. It doesn't matter what the product is. In this case, it's SPY. It's S&P 500. What do you care? You go, well, I want to trade Tesla. Who the hell cares? They have a plaid model. Who cares? Like, you got to forget all that crap. Think any trading firm like Ken Griffin, okay? Ken Griffin, that guy, by the way, if you have no idea who I'm talking about, Ken Griffin, okay, is the founder and owner of Citadel. All right. And Citadel picked up, they care so little, they picked up and left freaking Chicago and moved down to Florida. Okay. No one cares what you're trading. No one cares where you're trading from. No one gives a damn. There's a guy across the street. I'm in the Virgin Islands right now. This guy across the street, he manages $10 billion. Okay. During the day, I see him like walking around with his iPad, like literally walks down to the beach and starts sitting on the beach and like playing in the sand, like trading. It's $10 billion, but it's neither here nor there. Okay. One of the largest hedge funds down here. But this stuff, like, no one cares what you trade, who you are, where you are. Okay. You're an inventory manager. And every time you go out and trade one of these apples, you make 50 cents. So what's the whole key? You're trying to burn through as many apples as you possibly can. Some apples are going to be bad apples, bad apple, bad, but you're trying to rip through as many apples as you want. Okay. Because the more apples you trade, the more money you can make. So here's the SPY at 380. Right? And a moment ago, we talked about trading an apple, which is selling, for instance, what? A 455 call. For that 455 call, okay, you collected $1. But then you'd want to go out and sell, for instance, a 465 call. If the market rallied, maybe collect another $1. But on the other side of this, okay, maybe I could turn around and sell, for instance, a 290 put. By the way, the puts are always trading for more, so the put's going to be trading for $2. And then the market sells off, and I'm selling, for instance, 280 put and collecting another $2. You see what I'm talking about with inventory? But what's the problem with this? And there is a problem with this. What is the problem with this? You got to break it down to the brass tacks over here. What's the problem? Okay. Look, you could sell a bunch up here, sell a bunch down here. And every time one of these things makes 50%, pull it off, pull it off, pull it off. And the moment you pull it off, what do? Allocate for new inventory. Okay. More inventory, and just keep burning through inventory. And sometimes you're going to have a couple of bad apples, but I'm going to tell you exactly what's going to happen, right? I'm going to tell you exactly what is going to happen over here, because this is absolutely critical. Sooner or later, okay, the market's going to crash. The market's going to crash. The market's going to burn. The market's going to crash hard. It's going to burn even harder. And when it does crash and burn, okay, you're going to be left what? Completely and utterly exposed, right? So it's going to be like a bomb went off. And this is where people, they don't get this, you know? You have to have some type of a hedge, risk mitigation, okay? And risk mitigation is going to be absolutely imperative in this particular context, okay? And this is where everybody thinks like, oh, okay, do you understand how to actually mitigate risk? Because what we're going to do right now, right, is we're going to explain a little bit about hedging. And this is where, you know, everybody's like, well, I could kind of, okay, people don't understand, right? You can't operate in this business without some type of definitive hedges. So, okay, let me explain what a hedge might look like. Enter the hedges. So what might a hedge look like? How about if we placed a little trade right here and we put that trade in a product like VIX? If the market goes down, VIX typically goes where? Up. Not always, but okay, if the market really crashed hard, I'm talking was burning, right? The VIX could explode and provide an umbrella for the other trades, okay? For you to be in business and in this business, hedges are essential. Okay, hedges are absolutely essential. So enter, okay, the hedges. You say, when do you hedge? I always hedge. And there's a couple of different hedges that I use. One, okay, is an RTS, better known as a risk twist. Okay, two, okay, number two over here. And again, you could use something like a VIX vol spread. Number three, we'll call it a gamma iron, right? Those are three types of hedges. There's a bunch of different hedges you can use, but it's essential to understand. So the SPY is trading at, right, 380. So I go out here and I sell, for instance, the 455 call, and I collect $1. And then I sell, for instance, okay, the 465 call, collect another $1. Before you know it, you're out here selling some puts. You sell, for example, those 290 puts, collect $2. Market sells off. You're selling the 275 puts, collect another $2. The point that I'm trying to make is you're building inventory effectively on both sides. You can stagger a lot of little positions in here. And each one of the positions, you're trying to rip 50% off as fast as you possibly can, right? Lo and behold, okay, you can't operate without a hedge. So right in here, I'm actually going to lay a little bit of a hedge, okay, right in here. All right, so let's put our little hedge in there, okay, and we'll call that a VIX vol spread. To hedge to the upside, I could also use what's termed a gamma iron, which will actually provide risk mitigation if we explode to the upside. Cover your bases. You don't know what the market can do to you. Okay, and you don't have to worry about margin because we can actually circumnavigate margin. We can circumnavigate anything like, you know, I can't sell naked in my IRA. You absolutely unequivocally can sell naked in the IRA. And very few places actually talk about that. Okay, somebody was talking about some of the founders of Tastyworks. Okay, I know. Okay, I ran the education side of the thinkorswim business. I ran the education side of the TD Ameritrade business, right? This is the stuff, though, that, okay, you have to get down to the most finite details, the most finite, okay, criteria. And that's what, you know, people can go out and they can tell you to sell options, and any monkey can probably figure that out. What they don't figure out, though, is the criteria behind this, okay? This is what selling options premium is about. Do not let all the little marks on here, like, don't get like all flustered by this. People do, they get flustered by this. You got to understand one concept: inventory management. You're selling a bunch of junk that's way out here, right? It's way out there and you're selling a bunch of junk. And then you're mitigating the risk of that junk with tiny little trades. Those trades are called hedges. Hedges, if you will, are sacrificial lambs. Okay. So, it's like, I don't know, living next to a volcano. You're like, every month I have to walk up to the top of the volcano and sacrifice a lamb into the volcano. That's a terrible analogy, but you get what I'm saying. Like, to operate in the business, right? Like, to even be in the Apple business, if you had these apples and you were actually not the company Apple, the actual Apple, but if you had these apples, right, and you were trading apples, you may have to have an insurance policy to even be in business. You got to have business licenses. Listen, hedges are the cost of you being in business. And if you don't believe in hedges, get out of this business right now, because you will not survive. Plain and simple, unequivocally. Okay. I've been in this business, right, as long as anybody, but on the retail side, right, we had the largest order flow in the world, okay, at thinkorswim and TD Ameritrade. Nobody saw more options order flow specifically than me, okay, and our group. Why? Because that's what we did. We were exemplary in looking at options order flow. And the one thing I can tell you, you're not hedging, okay? You're just, again, you're going to blow up. That's what happens, right? You need to learn how to do this. You need to learn how to do this. You can make really good money doing this, okay? But you need to learn how to do this. I'm always carrying inventory. When I say I'm always carrying inventory, you're like, what do you mean, right? What do you think all these trades are? What do you think the stuff is? Like, if I switch over here to the spiders, I think I'm in the wrong account right now. Okay, if I switch over to the spiders and so forth, I always have inventory on. There's always hedges in here. Okay, you can see the little dots are exactly where I have the position, 73 days out. Okay, the hedge is 17 days. Always have positions on. All right, this is what we do. Okay, but you can do this with an extremely small account. Listen, this is why I want to sell premium. Premium can be sold in small accounts. So you have to have $5,000 in an IRA, but only $2,000 in a marginable account. And that's important, okay? Reduce positive theta decay, enhance existing positions. You can actually use this, okay? You can use this to enhance an existing position. Like, if you owned a stock and the stock is really beaten up this year, you could actually sell premium in the manner that we're doing. Provides an incredibly high probability of success. You never need to buy or sell the stock, and you could be wrong in market direction. The one thing, you don't see me sitting in here talking about a MACD, a Fibonacci, a Bollinger Band, right? Okay, because I just don't care. I'm selling inventory on both sides. We rally and probably selling some calls. We sell off big and probably selling some puts, okay? You need this in your life, because right now, the one thing that people have to understand, like, I know that some people are a little confused by this because it's a lot to go through. And I think I threw a little bit more at you today than I had in previous, because, again, Adam Mesh was kind enough to invite some of, his guests here. And we've got obviously some of the TheoTrade guests here. And a lot of people understand this stuff. But for those of you that are new, okay, inventory management, okay, risk management. Inventory management, risk management. The reason you need this in your life, because this is no longer a stock picker's market. Like, you're not going to be able to sit here and dig through charts and be like, yeah, I found the perfect setup for what? For disaster. Okay. Because when the CPI comes out on Thursday, or, the election results come out, I mean, this is going to be the perpetual Mr. Toad's wild ride. And the funny thing is, people are still arguing whether we're going into a recession. Okay. You should get through that, get past it. Because if we're still arguing we're going into a recession, think about what volatility is going to be and how long volatility is going to be here. Right? That's why you're going to need this in your life. Listen, selling premium can do really wonderful things, but it's about consistency. It's about returns while mitigating your risk. Okay. In a moment, we're going to discuss criteria. But before I do that, I'm going to give you live trading examples. Listen, variations of all the following trades. I'm going to show you 18 months of trades. Okay. 18 months of trades. The trades that I'm showing you were texted out to clients, all of them. Okay. And this is where I say, like, the proof's in the pudding. And I also reiterate, okay, we show everything here. Like, this is an account. Okay. By the way, I saw earlier, the account was what? At 181,000. Now it's at 186,000. See, that is what we call good. So I've had like what, $5,000 of turnaround today. Look, I'm still down $3,000, but I am actually long some Robinhood stock over here that's costing me $3,000 today. By the way, I do not mind hopping on here. Like, he's taking a $3,000 hit. It's good. Okay, at least somebody actually shows you something real for once, because you're not here, all right, to learn a bunch of, crap. You're learning to hear how to sell premium and mitigate the exposure. Like, again, it is not about one day. It's about the fact that, an account's up $186,000. The way everybody always asked me then, well, what's the account value? Okay, cool. Let's actually look at that. Account value, right? Here you go, 353,000. So the account is basically doubled inside of what we are year to date. Okay, that's just one account. And again, I've got an IRA in here if you'd like to see the IRA. Okay, again, no holds barred. IRA is up 43,000. And you know as well as I, you can't add. Okay, by the way, this is one IRA. I have a multitude of IRAs. In fact, I have another IRA over at Tastyworks. It's about 150 grand. But in this IRA, look, you can't add money. This one did not have any capital added to it throughout the course of the year. You can see exactly where the profit and losses were generated, and the account is up over 100% inside of an IRA. Like these are key factors. As I said, no holds barred. Okay, you can do it inside of retirement accounts as well. So what I'm going to show you is just trades that I've done over the last 18 months. And again, these screenshots here are actually taken from thinkorswim. Okay, the opening date, the closing date. I know this is back in 2021, but I wanted to show you 18 months of results, to open, to close, the exact price I opened the trade, the exact price I closed the trade, and obviously the return. Okay, every trade that I'm showing you was done as an alert. What's an alert? This is a trade that is texted and or with push notification. We also do, for those of you that don't know this, we have our own mobile app and we do push notification so that you can get every trade. Doesn't matter where you are in the world. Push notification works everywhere. Where text messaging may only work here in the US or Virgin Islands, whatever it is. Okay, so bond, short, put. Again, I'm just taking you through a couple of trades. I say a couple of trades. I'm showing you 18 months of results. SPY short put, SPY short put. All of these 57% return, 49, 50, 62, 53. We're moving on to the Qs. Okay, all these are just individual positions. Okay, by the way, losses happen in here. As I said, there's some good apples and there's eventually going to be some bad apples. Okay, so I'm just kind of running through here, kind of running through. All right, 53%. And again, we're only in, if you take a look at the trades, you can see the opening date, the closing date. All right, average hold time in here is about 29 days in this in 2021. So I'm scrolling through. By the way, the more experience you get, then you step up what product you trade. You don't have to trade something like Amazon. You don't have to trade the QQQ. Okay, these are fairly small. What you can actually do is you can start to step up and trade S&P options on futures. This ties up very minimal margin. Okay, so we're trading that. And then once we give you a little bit more flavor for understanding this, you can actually step into new strategies. Okay, you'll see a couple of Christmas tree spreads buried in here. Christmas tree spread goes out. Look at that, it's $21 credit. Okay, bought back for $3 debit. This is actually selling just a multitude of options as a package. 85% return. Okay, on that Christmas tree spread. TLT, S&P options on futures. Okay, everything that you're seeing in here. All right, these are all executions. And I can even show you in a moment, okay, where exactly this comes from. Cruise over to thinkorswim with me for a second. I'll pop out of my IRA and go back to a portfolio margin account. Okay, go to the account statement. All I'm showing you, okay, if I went to spiders, and as I said, I can't stand. This is where you got to understand. 300 days back, okay, I have 92 fills. You can see every fill that I've had. All right. And the reason it's to open to close, like right there, that's actually a Christmas tree spread. To open to close, to open to close. That's it. Okay. These are the trades. And effectively, I'm just showing you them broken down. Right. If you want to see S&P options on futures, S&P options on futures on a year-to-date basis, I think I've taken like 2 losses in here on a year-to-date basis. But this is everything I've done. 82 fills in the S&P options on futures. Okay. Every single position is actually in here. Okay, total no holds barred approach. You want to see something, win, lose, or draw, we show it. Every hedge, every trade we've placed, 52% return. Now we're actually bridging the gap into 2022. Okay, another Christmas tree spread. Again, we're all the way up to March of this year. All right. Here we go. This is another Christmas tree spread. Okay, bond short put. And I think I cut it off after like May. Okay. Here we go. By the way, you asked, why did I cut it off after May? because I'll just show you the live portfolio. After about 18 months, I got sick of cutting and pasting in here. This is actually the live portfolio, okay? Close to open to close. Every opening trade, I'm just showing you, this is actually the site and how it works. You can even copy and paste the trades directly from our site. So this is TheoTrade. So welcome to the Ultima TheoTheta portfolio, where you can see every single trade we're executing. You can see the exact date and time, everything, okay? I mean, you can see all the trades that we did, obviously, in September, August, okay? Then you can even see all the closed trades. So closing, exactly what I bought it back for. So we just separate the opening and closing trades. You know, one of the most recent trades, looks like I sold a 4660 call, okay? Bought it back for 375. What did I sell that thing for? Okay, pretty easy. I sold it for 1175. So again, those are the trades, and those are the trades, literally, that's 18 months of results that I actually showed you, plus everything up until, you know, year to date. It's been wildly profitable. And we kicked off that portfolio in early 2021, and every one of these trades is being texted out. So this doesn't take a huge amount of time. This is not day trading. So this is sit there, you know, for those of you that are a little bit more kicked back, it's wait, you know, obviously wait for a text message to come out. And again, in a fraction of your time is going to be enough to see some results on this. You know, most of the time people use what we call set and forget order types. That's an order type where literally you use a good till cancel. It's called a GTC. It's pretty critical that you guys understand that. It's a pretty good time to be able to do this. And you know, what our members are saying, I'm popping these in from a little while ago, but Kevin Burks, absolutely love this freaking website. There's so much here, so many different flavors. I can't pull away for more than 15 minutes, can't get any work done. I love that one. Here comes the short that I'm waiting on, right? What our members are saying, this comes from Thomas. I'm up 80K since January 1st, 2022, right? Again, you know, you guys are great. You know, Tom, the attributes of being able to actually sell premium in terms of Ultima. The risk is limited to precisely your comfort level. Like, I don't want anybody to think like you have to go out there with an extraordinary amount of risk. Okay, probability of profitability is high. You can vary timeframes and minimize your risk. You never use a stop order in here. Okay, it's a perfect strategy to enhance a stock portfolio if you still have a stock portfolio. It's an excellent tool for those seeking returns to be able to build an account. And new products allow for sale and options in any account size. The one thing I want to stress in here, okay, and I tried to stress it without going into too much detail. The one thing I wanted to stress is, if you take a look at my account, what is this? This is actually the micros. The micros are a relatively new product. And with these micros, okay, first of all, there's no day trading margin requirement. No day trading. Do you have to have $25,000 in the account? No. You can have $2,000 in your account, do whatever you want. Okay, this is an IRA. You can sell naked in an IRA. Clearly, you can sell options and futures in the IRA. You go, I don't even know that product. It's the same as the spiders. It's the same as the SPX. Okay, I'm trading /MES. What is it? It's a micro, okay, options on futures contracts. But the reason I love it is not only can you use it in an IRA, this is a decent sized position. It only ties up $1,100 in an IRA. In a margin account, okay, that would actually tie up just under $600. It's incredible. Like, you couldn't do this stuff 2 years ago, right? You just couldn't do it 2 years ago. And it's so critical. But the thing you have to understand about this, okay, thing you got to understand is how to build a portfolio of options. You know, don't let the options portion, because I asked this when I came in today. I said, you know, how many people here brand new to options are like me. Don't let the options portion of it, you know, intimidate you. Selling premium, you can do with minimal credits, okay, and really minimal risk initially. And you can build this. And people say, how much can you scale? Okay, you can scale tens of millions of dollars easily into this. But you can start with $2,000, and $2,000, you're not hitting grand slam home runs. Okay, you're out there to build an account. You're out there to learn the process. Like, that's what you got to understand. You know, again, options are the quickest, the fastest, the safest, the easiest way to get where you want to go in the stock market. But if you don't understand them, you chop off a couple of fingers. I mean, people are asking the right questions in here. Like, look, you know, what hedges do you use and so forth? That's what we're going to talk about. Listen, again, don't let the options portion of it intimidate you, because the one thing, and I stress to each and every one of you, you need this stuff for the future. You're going to need these strategies for the foreseeable future. Okay. And that's, you know, without unequivocation. This is not going to be, you know, a stock buyer's market, maybe for years. That's a clarity that I don't exactly have. I don't think anybody does, but I can tell you without unequivocation, the next 18 months to 2 years, this is going to be a complete and utter free for all. Like, listen, what we are here to do is not just to tell you to sell option premium and push you out into the marketplace. What we're here to do, okay, is provide you detailed recipes, criteria. That's what TheoTrade does. And that's what, there's a lot of great education out there, okay? There's even some free education out there. What it misses is the detailed criteria. What options do I buy? What options do I sell? How many hedges do I place for this? Okay. We give you not only the specifics, but we give you that one-to-one support. That's where people go, I can get this for free and I could do that and I could read online. Okay. Listen, you're not doing this. Okay. You're not getting trade ideas sent to you in a text message. Okay. The education is only what? That's just there to, well, to educate you. Then we're actually going to hold your hand. We give you one-to-one email support. You have to have that. Listen, you wouldn't bake a cake without a recipe. Why do you trade without one? Okay. This is what you need to successfully sell Ultimate Premium for a living. You have to know what underlying stocks or indices make the best candidates. Could you trade spiders? If somebody said, okay, somebody said, by the way, somebody just asked me for samples from the past. Did I not just go through 18 months? Rewind, man. I just went through 18 months of examples. Okay. What underlying stocks or indices make the best candidates? We just showed you spiders. If somebody said to me, hey, you trade spiders for the rest of your life, absolutely. I was an SPX trader. Okay. I could trade SPX for the rest of my life. I'd be happy, right? You know, what volatility should I seek out? Here's the key. You wouldn't want to do this in Walmart. At the same time, you wouldn't want to do it in GameStop either. Too much volatility, you're dead. Too little volatility, you're dead. You got to have a sweet spot. Again, me, I'm an index guy. I love indexes. It's boring though. People hate indexes. I go, why do you hate indexes? It's easier. You don't have to deal with like an Elon Musk every single day, like listening to him. Okay. I mean, if I hear like one more thing about it, it makes me sick. You know, Apple, there's nothing wrong with trading the stock Apple, but if something happens to Tim Cook, okay, you're toast. So is the stock, right? I think it's just easier to trade the index products. Okay. But then you have to know on those index products, what volatility is right? What options expiration do I select? Like, if you really want to know, like when I say what options expiration, look at the spiders. Okay. There's 1 day, 2 day, 3 day, 6 day, 7 day, set, hut, hike. Look how many expirations there are. It's disgusting. Okay. These are the SP options and futures of the spiders. Same animal. Look how many expirations there are. Do I go out 129 days? Because if 101 days is good, 111 or 112 has got to be better. 129 is even better. Then there's AM settlement and PM settlement. Oh my, it's ridiculous. Okay, we narrow all this down. This is what we do. Okay, what option should be the delta of what I sell? Like, what delta do you go out and seek? You go, I don't even know what delta means. That's fine. It's probability. Delta is almost akin to probability. Okay, then you have to know what options do I buy? That's the hedge. How many do I buy? How do I build the position? When I talk about building a position, somebody was asking this a moment ago in the chat, and I was like, right on. They were asking the right questions. Okay, what was the right question? You know, go out there and you sell a bunch of junk here and you sell a bunch of junk here. How many hedges do I need? Tell me more about the hedges. Tell me more about the rabbits. Okay, you got to know how many hedges. So without it, you're toast. How many hedges do I have? For how many short options do I have? I think that's pretty critical. Do I need a large amount of capital to do this? Absolutely not. What's the right amount of risk for me? Okay, risk is actually going to be fairly nominal, but you can dial it in. If you say I have a $100,000 account, okay, I'll go, okay, what are you comfortable with? And we can start from there and we actually work backwards and we can tell you what the right amount of risk is for you. What are the percentage returns supposed to be? 50%, it's pretty easy. How do I protect myself from market crashes? Hedges. And by the way, the market's going to crash. You look at this and you go, well, sooner or later, markets always crash. That's the awesome thing about the market. Okay. You'd be right today, wrong tomorrow, wrong the next day, but eventually they always crash. You go, that already happened. No, it didn't. Okay. It's much more exciting thinking it has not occurred just yet, but you got to be able to hedge that because you know what, when it comes to risk management, you know nothing. Risk management is always there. You always hedge. Listen, let me show you exactly what we do here at TheoTrade. We create recipes in trading. Trading is always about answering what ifs. What might be a good stock ETF? The correct options expiration cycle. How much capital do I commit? What strike options do I sell? Which options do I buy? How can I limit my risk? Okay, we have those answers. We build recipes with definitive criteria. We actually have checklists, okay, for each strategy and each unique variable you're going to encounter. When I talk about like checklists, the idea comes, okay, from like a pilot's checklist, like the logic of how we structure our criteria here at TheoTrade comes, okay, specifically from, okay, a checklist like a pilot would use. And you go, well, what do you mean? You know, you get into a 737, a Boeing 737. They don't just get in there and they go, cool, is everybody in? Throttle up. Like they actually go through a highly definitive checklist. But the checklist to get in the air, okay, is only a portion of it. Then they actually have like an in-flight checklist. Like what can happen to you once you're actually in these trades? What if expiration is coming? What if volatility explodes? What if there's a dividend? Can I take more risk? It just goes on and on and on. What do I do if the market's coming my direction? The market looks angry right now. We have the answer to those questions. We have the answer to the questions. We literally give it the right probability. The option contracts, do you close? Okay, what if we sell off big? Do I bail out of the trade? As I said, dividends are coming, expirations are coming. It's triple witching. What if we rally massively? Can I fix a losing position? It's how, when, why. Okay, it's just the beginning of variables. That's what we do here. We answer the variables. And that's what I stress to you is there's a lot of education out there. It doesn't cover this. It doesn't cover this. You can go out and you could spend legit $30,000 on stock market education. Okay. It'll pale in comparison to what we can provide here at TheoTrade. Pales in comparison. You wait to see some of the instructors that are actually on here. You know, you can read what selling Ultima Premium is. Maybe even how to build a few trades, but you need TheoTrade's recipe for success. By the way, 20 years plus trading experience. That's just me. That doesn't include the 7 other full-time instructors that we have here at TheoTrade. I had access to client order flow for 15 years, viewed and studied millions of trading accounts. I ran education for 15 years at both thinkorswim and TD Ameritrade. Okay, when I left TD Ameritrade in 2015, that was my exit time. I had a 5-year lockup clause. After that, you know, I was out. We built TheoTrade. Okay, but we had 7 million clients and had access to their order flow. What do we learn from that? Criteria. And criteria is your recipe for success. We spent literally years fine-tuning Ultima, years actually in the setup of this. And when you actually get to the section on criteria, you follow the steps to be able to build a trade. Okay. We have an Ultimate Income Generator course. And before people see this and they go, oh, it's another $500 for a class, just stop. Okay. When I say stop, listen, that's not what we do here at TheoTrade. Okay. Listen to this for a minute. We built a course called Ultima. You know, I've been in this industry for a long time. I started on the retail side of it. So I started trading in 98, like literally 3 weeks out of college. Okay. In 2001, I switched over full-time into thinkorswim. And at that point, I got to see every education firm out there, right? Myself and the partners at thinkorswim, we're still involved heavily, you know, together and, you know, in education as well. But what nobody else can offer is not just, for instance, hey, this is a 5-hour course. It's just another class. That's not what we do here at TheoTrade. And I can't reiterate this enough. What we do here at TheoTrade is educate you initially. Okay. We provide a class. That class is ready to go. It's ready to stream. Okay. And then we provide every nuance of support along the way. Okay. How about for the next 3 months, you can email us anytime. Me specifically. Yes, you can email me. Yes, I will respond. Yes, I also have an entire team of traders, okay, that helps. But most of the trade-related questions I answer. By the way, you can email us trade-related questions. I lay this down for you, okay? We have a class that we will provide to you today. The class slide deck includes all of the entry and exit criteria, and it's available immediately for download. That's literally the checklist that you go through, okay? We are going to give you 3 months of access, okay? 3 months of access to TheoTrade. What does that provide? Trade ideas, okay? What else does it provide? Email support. What else does it provide? Access to a live chat room that goes on, okay, for 6 hours a day. What else does it provide? Access to every class that we've done, okay, since 2016. You get 6 full years of classes, 6 full years of coaching sessions, 6 full years of like support. You can see everything. It's $297, okay, for the 3 months. It's not an introductory price, okay? We do not do memberships here. You pay $297. If you like it after 3 months, do it again. If you like it after 3 months, do it again. I'm actually going to go into detail about what the course curriculum is, but I want you guys to know right now, okay, at TheoTrade, this is not like a fits all, okay? What we built is like literally like the Netflix of like trading. It has every genre of trade. I'm the option geek. We have a technical analysis geek, okay? We have a futures geek, right? What else do we have? I'm going to show you in just a moment. We have one gentleman that trades currency. All right. We have another gentleman, as I said, just trades futures. Another one is just a market technician. Then we have a fundamental expert. Okay. We even have an in-house trading psychologist. It's all part of TheoTrade. It's $297 for 3 months. Now, before I go any further, okay, this is the Ultimate Income Generator course curriculum. You get access to this, and you get access, okay, to over 100 other classes. And listen, when I say like we're no holds barred approach, when I say that, you know, different classes and so forth, this is like a start here menu, but if you want to see what the classes look like, option classes, option newbies, technical analysis, some of you are brand new. It's options 101, options 201, but the classes get access to all of these. Okay. And when I say all of them, you get access to everything we do here. Okay. Okay. This is the Z spreads class, inflection point spreads, income accelerator. This is Ultima. Okay. What does a class look like? By the way, one of my favorites that I've done recently is right here, inflection point spread. Okay. You're now watching the class. If you want to download the slide deck, click here to download the slide deck. There you go. That's what the class actually looks like. Okay. And as we go through the class, we teach the strategy and we actually start to get into criteria, inflection point spreads, opening criteria. What does criteria look like? Here it is. Okay. Products for inflection point spreads. And I go on and on and on. That's what criteria breaks down to. Okay. This stuff is critical that you guys understand. We're not here just to, you know, educate, okay, or entertain. We are here to make sure, okay, that every step of the way that you are effective in this business. You're going to learn how to generate consistent returns with selling, okay? How to build a portfolio of high probability trades. This is actually the curriculum. Detailed entry and exit criteria, that's the checklist. Discover option Greek so you can mitigate and manage positions much more easily. You're going to learn to use a risk array. Probably my favorite portion of the Ultima class was the risk array. That's the part that blew everybody away, okay? How to properly allocate in a way that reduces risk and allows, okay, to mitigate risk of a portfolio. And to mitigate the risk of a portfolio is critical. Discover risk mitigation techniques designed to hedge even the most extreme environments and how to sell premium in small accounts. There's actually 2 hours of the Ultima class that's all about like how to deal with small accounts, okay, using micros. On top of the Ultima class, you're also going to get the inflection point spread class. Okay. Now, again, we give you access to over 100 classes, but inflection point spread and Ultima, that's what you want to do now. Okay, bar none. This is what you want to learn right now. The inflection point spread class is an additional 3-hour class about selling premium. It is Ultima, but it's a new version of Ultima. And what it does is it teaches you how to sell premium and hedge in one transaction. So you don't have to go out and like put on a little hedge here. And how many do I sell here? Okay, you can just fire it all as one position. So detailed criteria for inflection point spreads, learn how to analyze the inflection point spread, okay, and obviously how to actually find how many inflection point spreads you can allocate for your account size. By the way, before I go any further, as I said a moment ago, okay, what we do today, and it's critical that you guys understand this, it's $297, okay, and that's for the next 3 months. During the entire 3 months, there's a money back guarantee. If you don't like us at any time, just get your money back. One thing I stressed to you, it's $297. There are 6,000 users right now on TheoTrade. Okay, there's 6,000 individuals on TheoTrade. We have everything from former market makers, okay, hedge fund managers, all the way to people that have absolutely no experience whatsoever. Okay, there's no excuses, no questions. By the way, I want to make something very clear in here. Okay, the money back guarantee stipulations, there are none. You do not call us, just email us. If at any point in the next 3 months that you're not completely satisfied, it's $297. Okay. You can't go wrong. And I know some people are going to be like, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. I'm going to sign up for $300 and I'm going to go all the way through. Okay. And then the 89th day, I'm going to cancel. Like it is what it is. I get it. Okay. But I'm going to tell you right now, people do that and they go, holy crap, what we do for $300 for 3 months, I'm telling you, no other place can do this. They can't do it. Okay, we are incredibly well financed. We have about 6,000 users on here. Okay, every major brokerage firm in this industry wants to work with us right now because we produce viability to clients. Right? When I say we produce viability, when I say every brokerage firm, okay, there's no joke in that. If you look at our resources, we have TD Ameritrade, okay, Charles Schwab, Tastyworks, okay, Magnify, Tradier. We're working with all of these now. Name another brokerage firm. Oh, I apologize. We don't have E-Trade added here. We have a brand new deal now with E-Trade, which is Morgan Stanley. Okay. Why are they all working with us? And by the way, we have, again, all these marketing agreements. That's a big portion of what actually finances TheoTrade. That's how we can do this, for $300. And again, that's why we want every single client that is here. We want you to be here. Like, if you're not happy here, okay, leave. It's okay. Like, I'll still love you. We want no excuses, no questions, no commentary. Like, at any point in the next 90 days, if you're not happy, okay, you can leave. If you go to theotrade.com/SKU, all right. And I just want to pull that up for just a moment. Let's see if I can actually pull it up over here. Okay. If you go to theotrade.com/SKU, right, you can actually pop into that page, which is now taking forever for me to load. That's why I'm actually doing it off the screen. Okay. Follow me to that page for just a second. And you click right here, add to cart. I just want to show you one aspect of it. So it's theotrade.com/SKU. Okay. I'll talk about everything that's included in TheoTrade in just a moment. All right. And there's actually the site. As you're coming down here, two things. Number one, okay, put your phone number in there. Your phone number automatically enrolls you for text messaging, which you're going to be able to see the trades. Okay. The next thing I want you to see over here, you can do 297, 149, 2 payments, okay, or 3 payments of $100. Again, the most important aspect is, right, we have a really no holds barred approach. We show you everything that we do. Okay, you get to see it. It's completely like the full Monty, and it's totally riskless. Right? It's totally riskless. TheoTrade.com/SKU. You can enroll. By the way, as you're enrolling, I'm going to go through everything that TheoTrade incorporates, but probably one of the biggest things that you guys don't understand. Number one, okay, it's not just a couple of classes. We're live every day. What I say every day, 6 hours a day. This is chat room. Okay, what is in the chat room? When I say the chat room, down here, this is all of our clients talking. This is live, right? What does it look like when I say it's live? Well, let me actually make it. Oh, son of a. Okay, I knew that was going to happen. I logged out when I actually logged in. Okay, on another site over here. So the one aspect that I cannot stress to you guys enough in here, and again, I'm going to log back in for you, is you get, when I say you get to see everything that we're doing. Okay, come on, there it is. When I say you get to see everything we're doing, if I come over here to member chat room, right? Literally, this is Tony Rago. This is our futures trader. He's trading live. That's a dome. Okay, he's executing, right? Obviously, he's got a quantity of 2 right now. And you can see when I say everything he's doing, every P&L, it's awesome, right? And obviously, he's saying the markets are rocking right now because he's trading the MES, which is the smaller contract size, which is also pretty awesome. But this is live, and you can even hear him. Okay, so he'll walk you through every single trade, every single setup. But that's what we do here. That's all part of TheoTrade. Okay, but the biggest thing that I put emphasis on is the text messaging. Okay, which we send you out trades, but the email support. For $300 for 3 months, you email us once or twice and get us, we get you out of trouble. Okay, we don't hesitate to answer emails about really complex trade ideas. Like if you say like, hey, I'm in trouble, I need some help, let's do it. Like it's fine. This comes from Marianne today. Because of Theo, I closed my entire portfolio with profits, 0 loss. I'm all in cash. That's important to me. It's not just about P&L. It's about the fact that in a year, the markets are down, between 20 and 30%, depending on whether you're S&P or Nasdaq. Okay, as an individual, she's lost absolutely nothing. In terms of what TheoTrade includes, okay, call these a couple of bonuses, but we understand, like, again, I saw the industry from a different perspective, right? We built thinkorswim, TD Ameritrade and so forth, okay? We understood that there's all these education companies out there, and some of them charge tens of thousands of dollars. But what we do is we come in here and we go beyond a class or one indicator. We wanted to give people everything to trade, everything to invest. And we have trading classes, we have investing classes, we have psychology classes for the market, and we do it all in one place and one price. First bonus, we give you a quick start guide. By the way, this is all part of $297 for 3 months. And again, like it's not an introductory offer. It's not any of that. So quick start guide. So what is a quick start guide? Here, let me throw it back up here. Okay, it's called the Start Here menu. You have no experience, we get you ramped up. We get you ramped up the right way. 101, 201, 301. Okay, it's all part of it. Even those of you that are experienced, seriously, like you think you understand this business, watch Order Execution Part 1, 2, and 3. You'll love it. Okay, again, what we can do in here is just phenomenal. And this is where there's a ton of free education out there. They're not going to have the detailed criteria. They're not going to have step 1. This is how to actually approach the trade. Step 2, you have a $10,000 account. This is how you should approach the trade. That's where we differentiate. We hold hands a tremendous amount more than any other firm out there, really at any price. Okay, so quick start beginner's guide. We get you ramped up. All right, number 2, okay, give you 100+ trading classes. By the way, when it comes to trading classes, like volatility, back spreads, look, if you want to see the trading classes that we offer, okay, look no further than, let me see if I can actually log back in here. Look no further than there's archives, go to class archives. Okay, when I go to the class archives, we're broken down to option classes, newbie classes, technical analysis. Look, we even get into mindset, which is the psychology, but I'm the resident options geek. So flyby, Ultima, okay, all of this you have access to. Again, as I call it, it's like the Netflix. It's like the Netflix of trading, selling options for a living. Okay, you want to learn about fruit flies, small account growth, strategy week, in-out spreads. Like it's all in here. But right now, it's all about inflection point and Ultima. Like these are the 2 classes you really want to get into. By the way, flyby, brand new class. I only held that class, we're talking 2 weeks ago. All right, all of that is included in this. Bonus 3, access, okay, to all the portfolios. We have 5 different trading portfolios. Access to what? Okay, text and push notification. And I stress this when I say text and push notification. When we do a trade, okay, you get the trade. There's 5 different portfolios. There's daily coaching, okay, and then you get email access, okay. But on top of all of this, it's access to a live chat room. We're live 6 hours a day, and people go, I can't possibly watch that. Every word is recorded. And if you say like, you know what, I want to see Don's stuff, okay, I'm Don, but you want to see my stuff every day, you can actually watch it on your mobile device and even speed it up. You can go at like 3 times the speed. Okay, I sound like a chipmunk. It's awesome. But you can actually speed things up in the replay, like again, variable speeds. It's all part of it. And again, when I say this, you don't pay any more for, let me actually bring it up. Okay. You don't pay any more. And that's actually TheoTrade Mobile. Okay. So what it's doing is it's logging you onto TheoTrade Mobile. Okay. You can actually see the daily newsletter, chat room, everything, the start here menu. Okay. But it also has all the different trades in there. So if we actually shoot trades out, okay, they come through the mobile app or through text messaging. It's all part of TheoTrade, again, including the chat room. There's a lot of places that charge $300, $400 a month just for access to a chat room. That's all part of it. Here's the instructors: Jeff Bierman, Matt Williamson, Corey Rosenblum, Brandon Chapman, okay, Slim Miller, Tony Rago, okay, Blake Young. Some of you guys will know Steve Miller. Steve Miller actually worked for the same people as Tastyworks. Okay, we picked him up late in his career. Okay, he's the absolute pinnacle of trader psychology. Love it, right? So everybody has their own genre of trade and we go for it. We don't just focus just on premium selling or just on this. We have a chart expert. We have this, okay? Everybody's like, oh, you should only do this, only do that. I disagree. I've been in this business a long time. There's a lot of different ways that work. Jeff Bierman, okay, was with us, of course, at thinkorswim and TD Ameritrade. He built most of the thinkorswim charts. Okay, Matt's market neutral. Corey Rosenblum, okay, intraday trader, resident swing trader. Brandon Chapman, okay, he's huge into fundamentals. Obviously, Steve Miller, I just talked about a moment ago, psychology. Tony Rago just trades futures intraday. Blake Young, market profile. Currencies, commodity trader, also comes from thinkorswim, TD Ameritrade. It's the crew working from home. We give you access to all the proprietary indicators and scans. We don't charge for that. You get every scan and every indicator that we build. The links for them, we give them to you, okay? By the way, just so you guys know, Tastyworks, they're coming out with their own scripting language, okay? Yeah, we'll be first out on that one, okay? So you better believe we're gonna be all over that and write our own scripts for that. You get access to the TheoTheo portfolio. The TheoTheo portfolio is what I was just showing you a moment ago. It's the opening and closing trades. Get access to it, okay? Now, some of you are thinking, this is too much. I don't have the time for this. Good, okay? All you have to do is watch one video a week. In one video a week, it's the ultimate trades, okay? It updates you everything I'm doing on 2 different portfolios in one 13-minute video. So all you have to do is get the text messages, watch the video update once a week. The video update always comes out on a Friday, It is never longer than 13 minutes, and it updates you on every move that I've made in the portfolio. You don't have to sit there, okay, and worry all day. By the way, Terry was asking, do I have to have a Tasty account to do this? No, you don't have to have a Tasty account, not at all, okay? But they do make things easier from time to time. It depends on the different brokerage firms. That's why I say, like, as you saw on our site, one of the things, we're pretty broker agnostic. Okay, when I say we're broker agnostic, look, Tradier, Magnify, Tastyworks, TD Ameritrade. And again, we're adding E-Trade to this list again. Why do we broker agnostic? Because all the brokers want our clientele. Tasty does make it easier, especially for premium selling, okay? But yeah, that's my only bias. That, and I know the founders of Tastyworks, like literally, okay? Some of them were like best man at my wedding, okay? That's how close a few of us happen to be, over the years. All right, so that's the update. Bonus number 5, technical analysis toolkit. Okay, so we have technical analysis here, Tech 101, Tech 201. There's 21 other technical analysis classes. Bonus number 6, day trading treasure chest, all the day trading you could ever want. Bonus number 7, mindset mastery. This is one where I always say, write this down. 5 essential building blocks to successful trading with 43-year veteran Slim Miller. The class is unbelievable. It's part of TheoTrade. Okay, this guy has forgotten more about risk management and dealing, okay, with risk than most of us will ever know. And I'm serious about that. Okay, Steve Miller, again, he actually comes from a background, okay, of he worked with the same people that I did, and worked with some of the Tastyworks crew many, many years ago. So he is phenomenal with that. And I always say write it down because people forget about it. Every trader should have to listen to this. Every trader, I don't care how long you've been in this business, should have to listen to what Steve Miller has to say about trading psychology. Finally, bonus number 8, it's quick start guide to Ultima. Some of you understand this business. So we built, like, you ever buy a new printer? You buy a new printer, and the second you open the printer, you're like, get rid of all this crap, go for the quick start guide. That's exactly what this is, a PDF file built so that you can be selling up and selling premium immediately. It like jumps right to the, like, it's a Cliff Note version of the class, Cliff Notes of the criteria. What our members are saying says, Pat, okay, it's back in January, but thanks for your reply. TheoTrade is the first educational trading service that I'm actually making a profit with, and one that I wish I can see a pathway to retirement. Okay. Again, we do classes, coaching, email access to the instructors, everything you're going to need to succeed. We've actually built the Netflix for traders. I reiterate, it's $297 for 3 months. Includes everything we talked about. You go to theotrade.com/SKU, and there's a 90-day money back guarantee. Now, I'm going to answer questions in a moment, but on the 90-day money back guarantee, if you receive a full refund, okay, and again, it's only $297. I want to reiterate that again. It's theotrade.com/SKU. If you receive a refund, you get to keep bonus number 1 on us, which also you can view as many classes as you want in that 90 days. And you get to view the inflection point spread class. You can view Ultima. You can, you might be able to watch 90 days, 90 classes. That's up to you. Okay. But TheoTrade is so much more than like watching classes. It's about support. It's about email support. Okay. But it's literally, I always reiterate, we want people that want to be here. That's why we have 6,000 clientele on here. And it's important that you guys understand that. Also, okay, with TheoTrade, we do not just randomly charge you $297, okay, every 3 months. It's not how it works. We do not do memberships anymore. It's $297. And if you want to do it again, it's $297, right? Get into TheoTrade. There are 30 riskless, okay, spots on this deal. And this we do, okay, specifically today to incentivize you, obviously, to enroll for TheoTrade. There are only 30 spots on the riskless deal. That basically means, okay, this money back guarantee, there's 30 spots. The first 30 people, obviously, to enroll for. By the way, we have a pretty good number of people on today. We're also streaming into YouTube. Okay, there's almost 500 people on. There's 30 riskless spots, the first 30 people to come in. And listen, it's a matter of trading size. We trade live. You're going to see a lot of the trades that we do, okay, get between 5,000 to 6,000 contracts per strike. We give you unlimited email mentoring. Send us your trades. The $297, the riskless offer. It's never been available before with income generator, okay, and inflection point spreads. And it's completely no stipulations. Like, you don't have to trade. You don't have to do a little dance. You don't have to make a little love. You don't have to get down tonight. It's all part of it, okay? Here, close my year-to-date profit from Ultima is paid for a yearly TheoTrade subscription. So we give you Ultima, Quick Start Beginner's Guide, 100+ trading classes, okay? VIP membership. And again, VIP membership is to the chat room, okay? Access to everything, including email support, the TheoTheo portfolio, okay? Obviously, the technical analysis toolkit, the day trading treasure chest, the mindset mastery, and quick start guide, right? It's all in here. So go to theotrade.com/SKU. I want to make sure each and every one of you see this. Okay, this is theotrade.com/SKU. You can also ask questions in the webinar chat. Okay, or you can click directly in here and generate a chat right on here. And again, I wanted to reiterate that particular site, theotrade.com/SKU. As I said, there are 30 riskless spots. By the way, SKU, it's S is in Sam, okay? K is in kick, E is in echo, okay? W, theotrade.com/SKU. When you click add to cart, this next page will pop up. Add your information. Make absolutely sure to put your phone number in here, okay? And then, whatever payments you want, but it's critical that you also know it's a 90-day money back guarantee in here. There's no risk. It's the first 30 people, of course, to sign up. I'm going to answer some questions on here. Okay. Again, we've got lots of questions that are populating into the chat, but the one thing I want to get through is some general questions. And again, I'm going to read off a couple of names as you guys are actually enrolling for it. It takes me about 5 to 7 minutes. Okay, I'm actually looking on my phone, but it takes me about 5 to 7 minutes before I actually see your name populate in here. So, okay, I'm actually going to pop this over to another screen. Bear with me here for a second. I'm going to read off a couple of the names. And again, just so those of you know, there are 30 riskless spots. And then I'm going to read off some of these questions and answers, and then some of the specific questions from the chat. There are 30 riskless spots in here. There's just shy of about 500 people on right now. I'm reading just the first name, okay, and the first initial, okay, so that you know that you qualified for one of those 30 spots. So I'm going to read off a couple of names right now. Mark E from Texas, Lee M from Georgia, Stephanie E from Tennessee, David H from Georgia, Larry S from South Dakota, Carl M from Colorado, Anil G from Pennsylvania, Will G from North Carolina, Mark H from Michigan, Dennis H from Florida, Todd G from Colorado. I'm going to butcher this, okay? Premsil, I got it. Premsil from Czech Republic, okay? Paul S from Wisconsin, Terry Q from Colorado, Laura P from New York, Ira S from New York, Brenda C from Washington, JB from California, okay? James H from Florida, Chase D from Indiana, Gary S from Massachusetts, David M from Florida, Shay E from Canada. By the way, there's always some questions about which brokerage firms like up in Canada. Here's one really, really cool thing, okay? Canada can be rough. Tastyworks has the meeting in front of the Canadian Regulatory Authority in January. Shh, don't tell anybody, but if they pass, you're good to go by like February at Tastyworks. They're going to change the entire business up in Canada. That is one where I am biased. I am biased. I hope Tastyworks rocks everybody up in Canada. Canada has been brutal for brokerage firms. For those of you that don't know that, the Canadian Regulatory Authority is kind of like, it's owned by the banks. The banks don't want the new people in there, okay? I like Kevin P from San Diego. That's awesome, man. You put your own name into the chat room over here. By the way, if you guys see me looking around, I have a monitor here, another one here, another one there. There's a lot of monitors in here. All right, bear with me. I'm going to go through some of these questions in here. And I'll read off. It takes me, again, about 5 to 7 minutes before I see the names come in. People always ask, to begin with, these are just general questions, and I'm going to get to some specifics, okay? So people always ask me, what do I need to get started? I'm a pretty big advocate of technology and so forth, but you don't have to have a 6-screen system. Listen, I have 6 screens because we do manage capital. So we are in the, we run money. And because of it, I keep quite a bit of technology here. That, and I like to do these presentations as well. So doing these presentations, I trade off of 3 screens, and I can run the presentation off the bottom 3 screens. You don't have to have that. Most of the time, if I'm not doing a presentation like this, I use my iPad. And by the way, I just want to let you guys know, the only thing you really need to get started is an internet connection, maybe an iPad. Okay, you don't have to have like the cool iPad Pro or whatever. Get an Android tablet. Okay, get the cheapest iPad possible. Okay, and $299 Walmart version of the iPad. You can trade off of it. You can watch videos off of it. I trade extensively off of mobile devices. Okay, I'm probably 50-50 now. Okay, and I'm executing into accounts okay, that are pretty substantial, why not? Why do you need to be in front of a computer all day long? Okay, execute off the iPad. The applications are, okay, phenomenal. All right. By the way, somebody was asking, what's the riskless guarantee versus the other guarantee? No, it's just a riskless guarantee. It's 90 days. Okay, let's just make sure that you understand that. I put that slide in there twice. Maybe that's some of the confusion. 90-day money back guarantee. Okay, I call it the riskless trade. That's exactly the same. It's no stipulations. There are none. No, it's 90-day money back guarantee at any point in 90 days. One of the most important things is we really want people, okay, that want to learn this business, that want to be here, and that's important. Okay. Anyway, so you don't need much technology. Yeah, go ahead, Adam.
No, yeah, I just wanted to say that the last time we did the event, a bunch of people signed up, and they've come back to me saying, thank you for the introduction. Don is great. Like TheoTrade is great. I got a lot of thank yous. And I'm proud of that. And I think that's really important. And I think it's important for the members who want to hear, like, at the end of the day, this isn't a lot of money. And if it is a lot of money, you probably shouldn't be trading. I'm being serious. Like, most people sell products for thousands of dollars. This is hundreds. And you're getting a ton of value. So if you like information, education, want good ideas, you should totally check it out. The fact that it's risk-free makes it cool.
It's interesting you actually say that, because when we were first launching TheoTrade, we're like, oh yeah, we could do like the free model. But once it became free, it didn't just lower the bar, it lowered our ability to like support the traders. Really, when it comes down to it, like, why do we really charge $297? The brokerage firms that we send clients to generally support TheoTrade. Like, that's how TheoTrade, ends up with some profitability. But and every education firm, even if it's free, they're being supported by some type of brokerage firm. Okay, but literally, what the $300 for, it's the support side of it. Because what we did is, instead of just doing like a free education and like having no support, okay, we actually built a support service to where we can answer people one-to-one, like on email. And no one does that when it comes to like trade related questions, to the scale that we're capable of doing it. And that's, if there's a secret sauce behind TheoTrade, it's the ability to scale, to 6,000 to 10,000 people and still maintain that one-to-one touch and support. And a lot of that is, the chat room. A lot of it is email. A lot of it is, we use a couple of different technologies. When people actually, when they email us in, sometimes I don't type answers to emails. We record videos specifically for clients using a couple of different pieces of tech, and it just makes it unique. It makes it unique. And that's a lot of what, why do we charge like, $100 a month or $300 for? Okay, it's to be able to support clientele. It's critically important. Anyway, with that, I want to thank obviously Adam for on here, and I'm going to answer a couple of more questions. So this is not a membership. We don't auto renew. We don't auto bill. Okay, we don't do that because, like, some of you have probably told me, like, it's like a gym membership that you can never get out of, right? I've had that experience before, and I don't like it. So we don't have like that, quote unquote membership. All right. So we also do weekly update videos, so you can follow every move that we make, right? We actually archive everything. So if you can't watch us, you can watch us in the archives, every word spoken. Okay. We provide you access to TheoTrade Mobile. You can download the mobile application. The mobile works either on Android, okay, or on iPhone, tablet, or on obviously phone. Okay, so that works. Add your cell phone number when enrolling. Receive, text messages. By the way, I'm going to pause for a second because there's a couple of more names that came in here. Anthony M. from Florida, Jeff T. from Michigan, Michael M. from California, James H. from Tennessee, Doug L. from Utah, Irene S. from California, James B. from Ohio, Michael J. from South Carolina, John P. from Texas, Donald H. from Pennsylvania, Mark S. from Canada, Robert F. from Oregon. So just reading off, and we're getting really close to that number of 30, obviously, for the riskless deal. So that's why I'm reading those off. All right, onward and upward. You can email us anytime, receive a response within 24 hours. One thing, okay, I just throw this out here. Listen, I'll respond to you, okay, within 24 hours. But the reason I put the 24 hours in there, people will actually email us like 5 minutes to go on an expiration Friday. And I always reiterate, like, we're traders, okay? We do trade. And when we're trading, I can tell you, so I'm currently in the Virgin Islands. I'm in St. Croix in the Virgin Islands, and we're an hour beyond Eastern time. So it's already, it's 4 o'clock here. I know it says 3 o'clock on my screen, but it's 4 o'clock here. So I answer almost all the emails before the market opens. So again, we don't open the market here till 10:30, but in a couple of weeks, I'll go back to Arizona for a few months. So I kind of jump back and forth, but most of the year now we're in the Virgin Islands. I'll go back to Arizona. There's a Super Bowl coming. I got to go back for it. Anyway, the fact of the matter is, I'll answer questions before, but when we're trading throughout the course of the day, okay, again, that's much more for trade activity, and we'll answer questions inside of the chat room during the day. So the email support, though, it's critical. It's like one of the biggest, features here. Okay, you're going to gain access to everything we've done. It's actually the previous 6 years, classes, coaching, all of it, variations of the trades that we show can be done in IRA accounts. Okay, with as little as $2,000. Okay, we can help you get approved for options at several major broker dealers. There's 30 riskless spots available. Listen, enroll now. It's theotrade.com/SKU. So I'm going to answer some more specific questions and we'll kind of wrap things up over here. Okay. Somebody said, does it work on an Amazon Fire tablet? The answer is yes, it does. You know what? I actually have questioned that myself and it does. But on the Fire tablet, you can actually enter directly into the website. So I use the browser on the Fire tablet. Okay, ask me how. So I have an 8-year-old, and my 8-year-old has a Fire tablet because likes to destroy everything. The 8-year-old has a Fire tablet, and he runs around with it everywhere. But I actually have logged into TheoTrade a number of times off of there. So by all means, it can work off a Fire tablet. Okay. By the way, somebody's saying, what's riskless trade spots? That's just the riskless trade spots. Okay, as I pull this up, let me pop up the website again. Okay, just dealt with the 30 riskless spots. Okay, ultimately what we're saying is there's 30 riskless spots, which we're almost completely filled. That's for the 90-day money back guarantee in there. So hopefully that helps to a degree. Okay, I'm just cruising back over here, so it'll work on a Fire tablet. Okay, iPhone and Android is fine. All right, so I say I'm a bit of an Apple geek, but I actually don't. I don't have. I just want to look on here. Okay. Looks like a couple more people popping in over here. And I get Adam B from California, Tim B from Connecticut, Dr. Joe from Illinois. Okay. I think I got Mike B from Hawaii. Okay. Mike B from Hawaii, Adam B from California. Okay. Fantastic.
Dr. Joe's the best.
Okay. Oh, I don't know what Dr. Joe yet. Am I going to get to know a Dr. Joe?
Dr. Joe's been with me for over 10 years, lives in Chicago, literally the best. I can't wait to hear what he thinks about it. That would be great.
All right, man. Now you've really, now you've laid down the gauntlet because I don't know what a Dr. Joe is yet, but I'm going to learn.
He's a doctor. He's a doctor.
All right. I could. Okay. It's from Chicago, so he scares me a little bit. Now, you know what? It's the Chicago guys don't scare me. It's the people from Wisconsin that scare me. That's a lot of the people that worked in the trading floor are always from Wisconsin. Okay. Those are a wild group. Just trust me on that one, Adam. Trust me on that one. Anyway, do you see any other questions in here that you wanted me to hit upon as we were cruising along?
No, I think we covered them. I think people are excited to be part of the community. And I think listen, you do a thorough presentation, and if people have been here and they paid attention and they've heard everything they need to hear at this point, which is great.
Yeah. By the way, here's one I didn't get. How much after 90 days? It's $297. We don't change the price or anything like that. You know what's funny? The first time we did this together, you were asking me the same thing. You're like, so is it introductory price? I go, no, really, it's not. It's not. So we wanted to, trying to build a community where everybody gets to come in, and it's, we didn't want the bar to be set too high, but at the same time, we had to do something to be able to hire that many staff to support. By the way, our traders are scattered all over. So we do have offices now here in St. Croix, but one of our traders is Vegas, another one in LA. A couple of our guys live in Chicago. Got a few people now down in Florida, one down in Alabama. Everybody's scattered everywhere. So by the way, Edward S from Oregon, Michael M from Georgia. Okay, just cruising down here. By the way, I love what Beach Lover. I don't know your real name, but Beach Lover. Hey, Beach Lover, I'm on the beach. Okay, 50 yards that way. He was saying 297 was the same price he paid in 2017. Yeah, we don't try not to let the whole inflationary thing. Okay, this is the first year we've honestly felt it a little bit, but we're eating it. Okay, it's the whole thing with inflation is the costs are definitely going up. I feel like vendors though use it as an excuse more than anything. Okay, the excuse to charge us more. All right. Anything else in here, Adam? Any undying urges or questions in here? Okay. Just
No, I think if you guys haven't gone, go check it out. 297 locks in the price, doesn't go up. You get a incredible bang for your buck. And I'm proud to introduce you to. I truly am. And I'm proud to be with Don. And yeah. And that's it.
fantastic.
It's the same. I say the same things. I do a lot of fantasy football for fun, Don. That's my hobby. And it's like the trade deadline. So I put a trade in and I'm like, I don't need to explain this. It speaks for itself. You decide if you want it. And the guy took the trade. Same thing here. You don't need to explain it, right? It literally speaks for itself. Well, you explain that they need to know what they're getting, but once you see the price, it speaks for itself, right? It's like amazing. Like it is what, you guys see that.
That's fantastic. That's fantastic. No, man, I really appreciate you having introducing me to a number of clientele here. And I want to thank everybody. I'm just reading back through here. Okay, just want to thank everybody for kind of tuning in today. Again, if you cruise over here, it's theotrade.com/SKU. The way at any point, it's also really important you guys know this. You can hit us support at theotrade.com. I'll sit here for a few minutes and type some answers into the chat, if you will. We'll leave the presentation open. But on behalf of myself, TheoTrade, everybody with the Adam Mesh Group, thanks everybody for tuning in. Have a wonderful afternoon. Bye-bye.
Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you.